Hello, and welcome. If you are listening now, perhaps today feels a little quieter than usual. There were days when this home was filled with voices and laughter. Mornings rushed with preparing breakfast. Evenings spent gathered around, sharing little stories. Back then, every corner held traces of your children. The sweet messiness. The endless calls of Mom or Dad filling the air. But time, as it always does, gently moved forward. The children grew up. And today, you find yourself sitting quietly in the same familiar home. Yet everything feels a little different now. No more constant chatter. No more hurried footsteps. Just you. And a stillness that feels somewhat unfamiliar. If you are in the middle of this quiet, come sit with heart of calm. There's no need to fill this space right away. No need to pretend to be strong. Together, we will simply sit quietly and gently remind you, even within this silence, your heart deserves to be softly held and deeply understood. There comes a moment when you quietly realize it has been a long time since you last heard those familiar sounds. No more little voices calling out Mom or Dad in the early mornings. No more laughter echoing through the rooms. No more casual questions or hurried footsteps filling the space. The house remains the same. Yet somehow, everything feels far too quiet now. This stillness is not just about silence in the air. It is about the absence of connections that once made every corner feel so alive. You remember when they were small. The simple, precious moments. Quick hugs. Random words. All now gently tucked away in memory. And as the days quietly pass, this emptiness becomes familiar. But familiar does not mean easy. On some quiet nights, you sit there and silently ask yourself, how do I fill this space now? Perhaps it is not always about finding an answer. Sometimes, simply acknowledging that your heart misses and remembers is already enough. There are days when emptiness no longer feels unfamiliar. It appears like an old companion quietly visiting, silent and patient. You no longer try to chase it away like you once did. You no longer ask why it lingers. Because slowly, you begin to understand emptiness is simply a part of the journey. Not just your children's, but yours as well. As they grow up and begin their own lives, the role that once defined you for so many years, the ever-busy mother, the ever-present father, begins to fall silent. No one needs you every day now. No more questions, no more requests. No more, can you help me with this? And in that space, you may find yourself feeling a little lost. But perhaps this is also the moment when something gentle begins to shift. When no one needs you every day. The one who needs you the most is you. You, more than anyone, can walk yourself through these slower days with tenderness. You don't need to fill the emptiness right away. You don't have to search for joy too quickly. Maybe all you need is to choose, each day, to stay close to yourself, to listen, to care, And, little by little, to become friends with the quiet. Because sometimes, emptiness is not something to fear. It is simply a soft reminder that perhaps now, it's time to learn how to walk beside yourself. With love. When no one calls your name as often anymore. When the endless responsibilities slowly fade into the background. You find yourself surrounded by more empty moments in your day. At first, it may feel unsettling. As if you do not know where to begin. Unsure of what to do with so much time. And a heart that feels too quiet. But if you sit long enough, you may begin to understand something important. This emptiness is not only silence. It may also be a door. A door that gently opens, offering you the chance to return. Not as someone's mother. Not as the person who is always needed by others. But simply as you. A woman. A soul. Simply yourself. Perhaps you have forgotten the things you once loved. The little passions that used to make your heart flutter. Or dreams quietly set aside and left unspoken. And now, with life becoming quieter, and the silence no longer feeling so frightening, you may begin to reopen that door. Writing softly in a journal. Walking alone down familiar streets. Listening to a song that once moved you deeply. Or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea. Not needing to please anyone. This is not loneliness. It is returning. A quiet journey back to your true self. And if you are patient, you may find that the emptiness which once made you sad can become the very place where you gently begin to plant yourself again. One day, you no longer count the quiet hours, or wonder why you sit in stillness for so long. You suddenly realize this emptiness has slowly become familiar. It no longer feels heavy, nor does it ache the way it once did. It has simply become part of your day. Like the soft morning light. Like the gentle wind passing through your window. You begin to notice the small moments more clearly. The sound of water as you make tea. The faint, comforting scent in the quiet house. The tender feeling of leaning back. Letting time move gently around you. And when you look around, your partner is still there. Not loud, not demanding. Simply present. There is comfort in small gestures. A cup of tea already made. A quiet question, "Are you tired today?" Or just sitting beside you. As time softly slips by. Their presence offers a quiet sense of security. Yet even with this shared space, you know there are moments, deeply personal and silent, that only you can walk through on your own. And in those moments, emptiness no longer means loss. It becomes space, where you can fully return to yourself. Where your thoughts slow down. Where your breaths grow deeper and warmer. You begin to feel grateful for this stillness. Because in it, you finally have the chance to listen deeply to yourself. In a way you never could before. You are no longer just someone busy for others. No longer chasing the endless needs and voices of the outside world. You are simply you. Sitting with the quiet. And beside you is your lifelong companion. Quietly walking with you through this gentle new chapter. There are moments when you stop trying to fill the emptiness. You sit quietly and accept that this stillness will not disappear right away. You no longer push it away. You no longer try to pull it closer. You simply allow it to be here, a part of the room, a part of you, a part of now. And strangely, when you stop resisting, stop trying to feel better, stop pretending everything is fine, peace quietly arrives. Not the kind that makes things joyful or bright, but the kind that simply whispers, "It's okay. Today, just like this, is enough." You follow your breath, not waiting for something to arrive, not fearing what might linger. And somewhere between all the nothings and the everythings, you begin to understand that true peace is not a destination. It's when you stop running from what you truly feel, when you choose to stay, even in emptiness, even in the quietest silences. Then, right there, in that very moment, you touch a wholeness that has been with you all along. In the end, after all the quiet moments and silent questions, you realize that peace is never something distant. It comes when you stop resisting yourself, when you become gentle enough to embrace every feeling, even the empty days. You begin to see that while some journeys must be walked alone, there are also moments when having someone quietly beside you brings warmth in the softest way. Your partner is still here. No grand words are needed. Just a gentle touch, a glance of understanding, or simply sitting together, sharing the quiet that now feels so familiar. And you smile, because you now understand. True peace is being able to return to yourself, while knowing there is still a warm hand nearby, ready to hold yours whenever you need it. No matter how life continues to change, as long as you have yourself and someone walking quietly beside you, your heart will always have enough to feel safe and move forward into this gentle and beautiful chapter after 50.